The voice of Professor Chronotis carried through from a door that presumably led to a kitchen.
"Excuse the muddle. Creative disarray, you know."
Right, yes," said Chris. He carefully ventured further into the room, skirting the piles of books that looked the most dangerous. How was he going to find what he wanted in this lot? He waited for the professor to emerge from his kitchen. He didn't. Professor Chronotis," he called.
"Tea?"
came the reply. Yeah, thanks," said Chris automatically, though in fact he wanted to get away from all this strangeness and back to thinking about his own, more important issues as soon as possible.
"Good, because I've just put the kettle on,"
said Chronotis as he emerged from the kitchen and into the room, navigating the dangers unthinkingly. After their one brief meeting a couple of weeks ago, Chris had mentally filed the professor away as just another Cambridge eccentric, indulged and isolated by decades of academia. He'd forgotten how memorable a person Chronotis was. And that was another irritating strangeness, Chris thought, because you can't forget memorable people. Chris decided he must have been really incredibly wrapped up in himself to forget Chronotis. He was a little man, somewhere in his 80s, in a dishevelled tweed suit and tie, with a heavily lined face, a shock of white hair, scruffy beard, and half-moon spectacles over which peered kindly, penetrating black eyes. Kindly and penetrating, thought Chris. You can't have eyes that are kindly and penetrating. Professor Chronotis, he said, determined to get things back to normal. I don't know if you remember, we met at a faculty party a couple of weeks ago. He extended his hand. Chris Parsons?
"Oh, yes,
said the professor, pumping his hand enthusiastically, though it was abundantly clear that he didn't remember at all. He squinted up at Chris a little suspiciously.
"Enjoy these faculty shindigs, do you?"
Chris shrugged. Well, you know, I don't think you're actually supposed to enjoy them.
"A lot of boring old dons talking away at each other,"
huffed the professor.
"Oh, yes, I suppose you could never listen to a word anybody else says."
"Yes, well, that night you said that—"
Talk, never listen."
No, indeed," said Chris.
Well, what?" said the professor, staring at him with a look that was more penetrating than kindly.
Chris decided to humour him. "Well, I do hope I'm not taking up any of your valuable time."
"Time?"
the professor laughed.
"Time? Don't talk to me about time. No. When you get to my age, you'll find that time doesn't really matter very much at all."
He looked Chris up and down and added a little sadly,
"Not that I expect you will get to my age."
Chris wasn't at all sure how to take that remark.
"Oh, really?"
"Yes," said the professor, looking into the distance.
"I remember saying to the last master of college but one, young Professor Frensham—"
He stopped himself.
"Though, hang on a minute. Was it the last master of the college but two? It may even have been 3.
Chris frowned. The term of a master of college seemed to last on average about 50 years.
3? "Yes, nice young chap," said the professor. "Died rather tragically at the age of 90. What a waste."
90? queried Chris. Chronotis nodded.
"Run over by a coach and pair."
"What was it you said to him?" asked Chris. Chronotis blinked.
"How am I supposed to know? It was a very long time ago."
Chris decided to put this aside. He wanted to get out of this strange, humming room, far away from all its peculiarities and the peculiarities of its owner. "Right, yeah, Professor, when we met, you were kind enough to say that if I dropped round, you would lend me some of your books on carbon dating."